Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth. My pronouns are she, her. Welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is Savory Sewing. You can also find me on Instagram at Savory Sewing. A Flosstube channel is a YouTube channel where folks talk about their cross stitch, what they're stitching, what they want to stitch, what they're going to buy to stitch, all those things. So if that sounds good, please, I hope you stick around. Today is Sunday, August 25th, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 30. This will be a regular Flosstube video. My last video, which came out about 2 weeks ago, was my 2024 WIP parade. And so I haven't had a usual, like, what have I been stitching on update since the end of July. So caveat there, some of the things that I'm going to show today, I just showed in my WIP parade. And so if I haven't worked on them since, there won't be any progress. So probably no one's going to care that much, but just, that's what we're gonna do. Sorry, my tablet just went to sleep. Oh, and it has my notes on it. Come on, tablet, wake up. All right, so, oh, I can't believe it's the end of August. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it's just been busy around here, and I have gotten some stitching done. I've got a pile of WIPs for this month so far. I've worked on 11 things. I do have an FFO. I have a big finish, which I'm super excited about. I have some haul. I also have some thrift store haul, which I'm going to show at the end in case you don't care about what Elizabeth likes the thrift. But I do have some Stitchy thrift store finds, which I'm excited about. And yeah, I think that's it. My plan section is probably going to be small because I haven't thought about September yet, except honestly, all I want to do is stitch Halloween, which is not abnormal, but I'm just ready for rain and cool weather and just to buy all the Halloween decor that's in the stores. Like it's bad. So anyway, let's get started with some stitching. So my FFO is not quite an FFO, but we're going with it because it will be by the end of the day. I posted this on my Instagram yesterday, I think, and I turned it into a little pillow this morning. So this is my first FFO, my only FFO of this video. And you can see how cute is it? So the what's not finished is the trim's not attached. So it's just pinned in place because I was debating trim options this morning. But how cute is this? This is from the book 13 Spooky Smalls by Primrose Cottage. So I have this book here. I stitched a couple things out of this, and I wanted to show the pattern close up because you can see they've got it stitched on like a nice neutral linen and with orange accents. So it's DMC, like it's like 310, dark gray, like 844 maybe, and then an orange, which I can't recall. And I switched it up. Oh, I wish I hadn't put the flosses away. Well, if I remember, I'll put the photo in here. But I used, so this is a BeStitchme linen. I think it's 28 count. I purchased like a grab bag. So I actually don't know what this is, but you can see it's a really pretty variegated purple. And the dark purple is from Forbidden Fiber Co. It's Prophecy Girl. The black is Pirate and Robin Grimm. And then instead of a dark gray, I used this Roxy Floss Co. floss that was very close to the fabric color because I kind of just liked the way it looked. In the color Cool to Yule. It came in one of the countdown boxes. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. But how cute is that? I've finished it with some just this purple and black fabric I had in my stash. And then I am going to attach this trim. This is Lady Dot Chenille. I don't know what the color is. It is a darkish gray. But how cute is it? How cute. So this might be my pinwheel small. So pinwheel going folks, would you be happy if this was your small? Otherwise, I might just keep it for myself because it's so cute. We'll see. Depends on if I get another small done in time for pinwheel. Pinwheel is the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. It is a retreat that's happening in 3 weeks. It's the 13th of September. It starts 14th of September, so that weekend. So I have a little time, and this took me, I just wrapped the chenille around. This took me a day and a half to stitch because it's actually really, really simple and really cute. So this is my FFO. One more finish. This I actually finished in July, the last day of July. But since I haven't filmed since, or shown anything since then, I'm going to show it to you now. It's also in the process of getting FFO, but I'm not counting it as an FFO because I don't think realistically I'm going to put this away and ignore it until probably December. But this is winter stitching from Barbara Anna Designs. This was in Just Cross Stitch magazine. I think I'll put which issue here. I think it's like February 2021 or something like that. How cute. I know it was nearly finished in my last video. I'm going to finish it in this hoop. I might stain the hoop darker or maybe gray. And then someday I might buy one of those nice modern hoopla frames for it because they do sell, no, they sell a hexagon. This is not a hexagon. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is an octagon. Okay, it would look silly. So it's going to stay in a hoop, but it might get a round frame someday. We'll go with that. But it's so pretty. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's going to get hung up on the wall for like my Christmas holiday sewing room decor. All right, so those 2 finishes. Now, folks, this is the big finish. And I got something awesome from the thrift store today. I'm so excited. So excited. All right. I bet you can guess, if you watched my last video, what I'm about to show you. But here she is. She's done. I posted a photo on my Instagram, so this is not really a surprise, but here she is in the video. I'll put her up close so you can see her in all her beaded, sparkly, absolute glory. I'm so happy to have her done. And I made it, well, as of September 1, 2022 is when the first part of this came out. So I squeaked her in right under her 2-year birthday, which is what I was hoping for. And this morning, I went to the thrift stores here in the town where I live, and sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not so good. Today they were amazing. Like, I've never had such luck with going into a thrift store and finding exactly what I wanted, I guess. I always find something. Today I found what I wanted, which was, okay, ignore the art in this frame for $9.99. For my beautiful dark queen. So, all right. Now, ignore what let's ignore this awkward moment for a second, and then let me just show you how good she's going to look someday in this frame. What do you think? Yeah? Yeah. It's gold with this little black fillet. And then, actually, is it a fillet if there's 2 of them, or are they both fillets? I don't even know. I don't know frame words. But, so this will be next weekend's project. This is going to be my Labor Day weekend project, is getting this lady laced, because she's not small. I'm so excited. All right. I do have a second frame option for her, but I think this is the obvious winner. I did find this frame as well, and I bought them both because I wasn't sure. And this one is, actually, like, I don't mind the art in this one. This one's just dark green. So I got this one as well. But I think the green is not right. And you'll be able to see a lot more of the fabric if I put her in the other one, which I think I'm going to really like. But I think if I hadn't found the gold one, this one actually would have been a reasonable substitute. But, oh, isn't that exciting? I'm so excited. I've not gotten this frame lucky at the Goodwill in a long time. Maybe ever. But yeah. All right. Once more. Oh, you know what? I didn't tell you anything about this. I just assumed you all knew. This is the Dark Queen of the Earth by Autumn Lane Stitchery. She is stitched on Nightshade linen from Under the Sea Fabrics, which is the called for, or the dyed for, and all the called for DMC and beads. She's so sparkly. All right. So that was my big finish. Very excited to have her done. This is my first fancy lady, if you will. I think she counts. And yeah, so excited. All right, so those were all the finishes in the last month or so. I have worked on a lot of other things, but those are the only things I actually finished. All right, I'm gonna bend over for a real quick second and grab my pile of whips, and then we'll do those. All right, so sorry, my tablet keeps going to sleep. It's not close enough to recognize that my face is in front of it. Oops. All right, so I worked on this on the very last day of July, on the 31st, for some, I don't know, Halloween-ish stitching on the 31st of the month. I know I've showed this in my WIP parade. It hasn't gotten touched since then, so if you watch that, you've seen it. Hold it all the way back here so you can enjoy the beautifulness of this fabric. This is Eerie by Forbidden Fiber Co. It's a 36 count linen. I'm also stitching it in a Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. And then here is where I am. This is All Hallows Eve sampler by Joan Elliott, which I did not happen to mention. I'm stitching this with Stephanie from Frala Knits. And I know I worked on, I think the whatever witch this is, the right witch. I love this. It's so nice to stitch. Someday she'll be done. But look how beautiful this fabric is. Like, I mean, who doesn't love a purple and green variegated for Halloween stitching? Like, everyone should. All right, my next WIP, this only got a tiny bit of stitching. This is a stitch along that's currently ongoing from Quaternion Creations. It's called the Forest Fairytale Sal. And I just have a tiny little bit. I'm working on the second drop. We're on like the 6th drop. I knew I wasn't going to keep up, and that's cool. So this was the first drop, Little Red Riding Hood. This is the second drop that I'm working on right now. This is stitched with the called for DMC, which is DMC 310 for the black. The red is also called for, and then I switched up the green for something that showed up better on this fabric, which is 32 count Lugana from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, and I believe it's Autumnal Orchard. It was a fabric of the month. And here's what the whole thing is going to look like. There's a border, and then I need to bring this border all the way up, which I will do once I get over. It's just like three rows all the way up, so it's a lot of stitching. But I really like the way this is looking, and the ones that I've seen of folks who've stitched this, if you follow the hashtag Forest Fairytale Sal on Instagram, there's some really beautiful color variations of this. Some folks are doing it all in one color, some folks are just doing whatever they want with all the colors, and they all look great. Really, really enjoy it. Just can't keep up. It's okay. All right, next is one of my favorites. It's by Teresa Kogut. This is called Come to the Garden. I was actually hoping that that green frame that I just showed you, that this would fit in it, and it does not. It's too big. Otherwise, it would look great. I think if I hadn't cut my fabric so tight, it might work, but too late for that. So this is where I am. I haven't worked on this since my WIP parade, so if you watch that, nothing new has happened. I'm stitching this with, I believe, all the called for, and this is 36 count Affogato by Fiber on a Whim. Love this fabric. I love this. I really need to get this done. This will definitely be on my WIPGO board next year because I believe this is a 2021 WIP. Maybe it's a 2022 WIP. I don't know. It's an older WIP. It's just big. She's a big lady. This is probably 2/3 of the size, and then there's a bunch more up the top, like a whole nother row of motifs. But one of my favorites. I've seen there's a couple folks, so Marumi Crafts, Miriam, is stitching it on blue, and it looks lovely. And then there's another person, and I know they're One Cat Crafting, I think, on Instagram. I don't remember your name, but she's also stitching it on blue, and I love it on blue so much. I was not in a place where I would have stitched that on blue when I started it 2 years ago, but now I definitely would consider it. Next in the pile is another one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, let's be real. This is Moonglow by Nora Corbetr, and I'm stitching this with Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe, Allie from Allie Z is Crafty, Katie the Peacock Stitcher has finished hers. None of the other three of us have, but we're all getting closer, or at least I am. Oh, I didn't do a good job. Well, I did iron it and then it recreased, but this is where I am. This is Olive, 28 count linen from hand dyed by Rolanda. I'm stitching with all the called for DMC and Karen water lilies. And oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. I really like that purple Karen water lily. The lavendery one. So good. I think I'm going to make it a goal to finish this in November for Nora November. That's when we started her. I think it's definitely doable. There's not a ton of stitching left. I say that, and it'll probably take me still like 2 weeks, but whatever. And then there's the beads. But maybe if I can get the stitching done in November, that would be really nice. All right, next. Oh, I love this one too. Broken Record. Let's just go with it. This is by Yasmin's Made with Love, and it's called The Key to Growth. And here is where I am. Oops, there's some. Oh, those are there on purpose. That's right. That's it. Here's where I am. I'm stitching this on. This is 36 count linen in it's Vintage Country Mocha, and I've got a Roxy floss conversion from the called for Roxy floss. Yeah, it started in Roxy. I pulled from my stash of Roxy that were basically mostly from the holiday countdown sale boxes. So all Roxy, but not the called for Roxy. I think it's still working really well. I really like this. I'd like to get this done, but oops, there goes my floss. Super good, super good. I really like Yasmin's patterns. I've stitched. I think this is my third one. She's very talented. All right, next is some Dark 13 stitching. I pulled out the Enchanted Quaker by Luminous Fiber Arts. I love Halloween Quakers. This is one of my favorites of all of them. And here is where I am. I started in the bottom right. Yeah, bottom right, and I'm working my way over. That's my preferred place to start is the bottom right corner because I stitch in hand and it's easier for me to work that way when I'm stitching. This is DMC. It's just DMC. What is it? 813? 413. It's DMC 413. Sorry, I got this in my bag. And this is also hand dyed by Rolanda. I don't remember what color it is. I know I said it. I've said it before. It's not olive because that's the one I just showed you. But it's hand dyed by Rolanda. And I think what I worked on this month is I stitched this cat and I started in, this is the witch. So cat, witch, and then there's a witch here. And I'm just going to keep working away across. I really like the way this looks. It's a little bit more subdued than some of my other Halloween pieces, and I like that about it. Next, oh my gosh, there's so much dog hair on my next piece. Oh, my darling little puppy. Love him, don't love, but it's shedding season. All right, so next, this is Enchanted Quaker from Lola Crow Cross Stitch. This was a stitch along that was started last year, and I bought it like halfway through at the end and then didn't start it until this May. And here's where I am. I love this. I am kicking myself for not stitching it last year, but I'm so happy that I'm stitching it now. I worked on this, I think last weekend, like, I can't remember which day. One day it rained all day, and I just hung out in my sewing room and listened to my book and stitched, and I got like all of this done. Like I started putting in this is it carrion flower? This is the one that looks like raw meat. That's why the flies go to it. And then got this little guy in too, and all this. Oh, I'm stitching it with the called for DMC, and this is Picture This Plus Alchemy. It's either a 14 or 16 count Ada. Oh my gosh, so much dog hair. I know you can't probably see it because my resolution's not that good, but there's definitely dog hair on this. Oh, I can't wait to have this done. All right. And last in the pile of whips, which I feel like I'm 20 minutes in, I've shown you all my whips, which is good because we got a lot of haul. So I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but in August, my goal was to touch anything that had flowers or was garden themed. So if you caught that, there was sort of that theme with the exception of the Halloween pieces throughout what I just showed you. You know, Come to the Garden, Moonglow's got flowers all over it, Greenhouse of Oddities full of plants. And the last one that I worked on this month is by Bendy Stitchy. And this is Rappaccini's Quaker. This is based on a short story by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Rappaccini's daughter had basically a poison plant garden. I will admit I didn't read the book or haven't read the story. I read this off the back of Michelle's chart. So if I got the details wrong, it's because I'm misremembering what I read. So just go with it. Here's where I am. Actually, you know, it doesn't look great. Hang on. I was going to hold it up on that, but I feel like that's taking away from it. Here's where I am. I will say this, Michelle also chose the plants that she picked from the story based on plants that meant something to her as well. So I'm going to show you this whole piece of fabric. So I'm going to finish this as a drum. And this is Resolution from Forbidden Fiber Co. 36 count linen. It was a fabric of the month. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm stitching it with all of the called for classic colorworks. And I think it looks great. What I got worked on this month was, I think I finished some of this white and then I started working on this Lily of the Valley. I think that's what that is. So I really love this. It was originally in a Starlight Stitchery box and then Michelle just released it at Market this spring. And it was a immediate must buy because I've been waiting for her to release it. So super excited to have worked on that. All right, so those were all my whips. I think there were 12 of them ish. Oh, I've got floss on the floor. I can't forget that. Yeah, not too bad. I didn't get as much stitching done this month as I would have liked. Work was super busy, but I still got a sizable amount. And rainy days are nice for sitting in your house, you know, and just vegging out and stitching. All right, I think I had 3 new starts. One you just already saw because that was the Halloween basket. That was a start and a finish. And then I also started a new stitch along. I'm going to try to keep up with this one, no promises. But I'm doing okay so far. I think it'll be easier to keep up with this one. Because I think each piece is going to be a little bit smaller, but I could be completely wrong. So this is Plants and Petrichor from Fine Frog Stitching. And I don't know what I put here, but maybe it's either the original thing, or if I can find a good photo, what's been released so far. So 2 parts have been released. The frame, and then the window in the middle has like a rain scene in it, you know, because petrichor is I think the smell of soil after rain. So there's a rain scene in it, and then there'll be some plants on shelves. And this is where I am. So as you can see, I've got the main window in. I've not finished all the other shelves. The counting was just killing me. And then I started putting some of you can see some green stitches down here. I've started putting in, let me fold this a little nicer so you can enjoy it. Some of the window fill-in. I'm stitching this with all the called for DMC, and this is Night Sky by Picture This Plus, I think. And it is it's either I think it's a 36 count. No, it's a 32 count because I'm stitching it 2 over 2. If it was 36, I wouldn't do that. Although it's tight. If it wasn't that full coverage, and I feel like this is a piece where you want fluffy fat stitches, you don't want that prim look. I probably would have stitched it 1 over 1. Maybe if I'd done it on 40, well, if I'd done it on 40, I definitely would have. But I think it just lends itself to that look, the style of stitching. yeah, I'm really liking it so far. Hopefully I can get that fill-in done of that frame. This one's dropped every 2 weeks. So, although I will say my stitches are a little bumpy, but this might also might need a hoop or a Q-snap, because sometimes, and I don't know if this is true for everyone, but like I can stitch 1/1 without, like, in hand, all my stitches look great. Once I get onto 2/2, especially on softer fabrics, I don't really want to be an all-time like Q-snap or hoop stitcher, just because I can be so much faster. And my stitches just aren't as pretty. So this is my cross to bear, not yours, but I'm just being a whiner. Oops, DMC on the floor. All right, I've got one more start, and then we'll go look at my haul, the rest of my haul. All right. In August, I had 2 starts planned as part of my 24 and 24. I have only started one of them, which hopefully I'll get to the other one, but honestly, I really just want to stitch fall, Halloween. So I'm feeling maybe like my 24 and 24 might go by the wayside. We'll see. We'll see. I might still just start them so that they're started, because you know, sometimes starting things is hard, and then once they're started, they're easier to work on because you don't have to worry about like the first counting and what have you. But we'll see. All right, so this is a Scissors Sampler by Talent Emblem. Who did I just see finish this? Caroline from Caroline Stitch Corner, did you just finish this? I think you did. And I think I started mine on the day you finished yours because I saw it on Instagram. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the kick in the pants and get mine started if you're watching this, Caroline. And here's where I am. I think it goes like this. Yeah, it goes like this. So this is 36 count buckwheat linen from Forbidden Fiber Co. And I am kind of, I'm not stitching it with all the called for. Some of the DMC is going to be called for, and then some of it is going to be, these are Roxy and one Pirate and Robin Black. So, and really the changes is I made these greens a little bit more like this blue greeny teal palette. They were a little bit more yellow greeny in the original. And then I just picked like these pinks are pretty close to the called for, but they're Roxy instead. There was something else I was going to say about this. Oh, a couple of videos ago, I was bashing over-dyed whites because I'm like, they all look the same. Why do you bother? And then I realized I have a problem with over-dyed blacks. I love them. I want all of them, and they're all different and unique. Even when they're not. They're all different and unique. So I'm a hypocrite. Calling myself out. Over-dyed blacks are very, very different. Over-dyed whites, they're all the same. Anyway, so I'm using Abyss. It's got a tiny hint of like blue in it, which I think is playing really nicely with my greens rather than using 310. And I could just be full of it, but you know, go with it, folks. But I'm really liking how this is looking, and this actually stitched up really quick. I think this is only a day, maybe 2 days of stitching. I was really afraid this pattern was going to take forever when I first started it. It doesn't have a crap ton of colors in it, which I might simplify if it makes sense, but we'll see. We'll see. Just happy to have it started. Okay, so those are all my starts and whips and finishes. So haul. Okay. So, I'm just looking around to see where I piled it all because it's like all around me. I bought a bunch of fabric because I'm a bad person and I needed it. And I've got a little bit of floss. So I joined the Dying for Sass Patreon. Dying for Sass. Here's her little card. I think I had previously bought floss from her. Yes, I did. I had bought this. So, she dyed the Goth Rainbow, which I love, and also did the floss pack for the Notorious Needles current stitch along. And then I found out she had a Patreon, and I have too much fabric. Well, I have too much of everything, but I really, I think I mentioned this a couple of videos ago. I have pattern usage guilt around my Patreon subscriptions, especially for the ones where I'm at the pattern level where I get like a pattern a month, even if it's a small pattern. I'm, for whatever reason, feeling very guilty about not stitching them. For whatever reason, I'm not feeling guilty about having floss that I'm not using, but we're not going to go into, you know, I don't need to be psychoanalyzed or to do it to myself. This is what's making me happy right now. This is what we're doing. Anyway, so I joined your Patreon where you get, she does like a poll every month, and you get a floss. You get 10 yards of whatever she dyes. And so I can't remember what the color palette inspiration for this is, but look how pretty and bright it is. I think Michelle from Bendy Stitchy got this and she likened it to Skittles because it 100% looks like Skittles. And then the one for this month that she just dyed, I don't know. Well, I mean, I got an email about it, and anyway, I'll put a picture in here if I remember. This was inspired by ice cream, and I'm super excited for this one. This one's beautiful. But yeah, I think this will be, I mean, this is a good rainbow. It's a lot like the Goth Rainbow. Well, it's a little bit like Goth Rainbow, but it's pretty. Anyway, I'm super excited about this, and I also enjoy these mailers that say sassy inside. Who doesn't enjoy some sass and snark with their floss tube? I do. All right, fabric of the months. So this is where the wheels fall off and we've got too much fabric. This was the Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric for this month. I get 36 count linen. This is really pretty. It's called Heather Peach. I'm not sure how peachy it's looking. It could just be because it's up against my pink shirt and that's just not doing it any favors, but it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous, yeah, it's definitely peach. I don't think it's showing up on camera, but it's definitely peachy and it's really, I really like it. I would put Christmas on this. You know, people, heck, I put anything on that. All right. That was my Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric. And then I got, BeStitchme was having a sale and I bought some things. And then I got one of her linen grab bags. So I'm going to show you these. These were all listed on her website, so these aren't surprises. They're just super pretty. This is called Gray Magic. Gorgeous. This is 36 count. So pretty. The next one is very bright. And I feel like it doesn't look this bright on the website. So it's called Wicked. I think this is from her Halloween. Oh, look at that. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on this. No idea. But it's pretty. Yeah, also 36 count. Folding is hard. And lastly, this is Catacombs. This is a 40 count. Pretty brown gray situation. A little less mottled than the Wicked was. Still beautiful. So that was my BeStitchme haul. And then actually I got one more thing. She was selling grab bags of, I think you could pick linen, Lugana, or Ada. I don't recall. I got linen. None of these have names. I'm just going to show them to you. This is the rest of the piece that I stitched that Halloween basket on. It's like a pretty purple variegated. This is very purple. I'm actually, I feel like this was actually like if somebody was going to pick out fabrics for me and actually knew me, which I don't think is the case in this, they did a very good job. Another bright purple, which so pretty. A real dark purple. Could see something like monochromatic and a light color on this. Definitely something Halloweeny. It's purple. I know it's running, it's looking a little burgundy. It's definitely a dark, dark purple. Here, I wonder if I show these two together, if that'll make it better. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. And then one more purple and then two neutrals. This is more like a purple gray. A little bit more of a dirty purple. So here's all the purples. Love them. And then two neutrals. This one is browns and greens. You can see the greens on the edges. Lovely. Excellent Halloween fabric, I think. And this one is just this one's pretty, not a lot of modeling. Just like a nice piece of fabric. So that was all my fabric haul. That's a lot of fabric. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on them, but these are going to be great, I think, for my Halloween stitching. I'm already, oh, I just unfolded all of those, so I'm throwing them on the floor. I haven't watched Jen from Jen's Fiber Webs video yet, but she had posted like a video or two ago that she wanted to do like 31 new starts for Halloween, and I don't know if that is her plan because I'm not caught up, but I'm very excited to watch her video and see what her plan is. And then I just want to start all the Halloween things. So I shouldn't, but I want to. Like, I've been thinking about it since I watched her video where she was like thing that she wanted to. So I need 31 new starts. Like, I need a hole in the head, but maybe 13. That's not crazy, right? No. All right. Stitchy thrift store haul. I got those two frames, and I'm going to show you what I didn't buy. And then I'll show you what I did. So my thrift stores rarely ever have cross stitch, or if they do, it's, I don't know. It's like those tubes of Charles Craft Ada from Joann's, you know what I'm talking about. And they're from like 1995. And so you don't really want to buy them because they're really old, and they're kind of gross. Sometimes those, occasionally some Leisure Arts pamphlets. There were a bunch of Leisure Arts pamphlets today, so I'm going to pop this photo up here, because there were like these, and these were nice. I feel like I've seen these online. People actually like these and want to buy them. I did not buy any of them. If there's one here that you might want, they were 99 cents at the Albany, Oregon Goodwill. If you desperately need one. I know some of the Leisure Arts you can buy digital versions of now, but I would entertain going back and grabbing them if they're still there. They also had a lot of hoops. I bought some of these blue plastic ones. I like these. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea. They also had a bunch of wooden ones, but nothing fancy. Like, trust me, Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Glue, if you're watching, I am looking for princess hoops everywhere because of you. I don't actually want to stitch in them, but if I find them, I will buy them and send them your way. But no such luck. Just, you know, your average, you know, wooden bamboo hoops and they were old and a little gross, so I wasn't buying them. But these I can clean, and I do actually like stitching in the plastic ones. I don't know why. Oh, and these were $1. I think these will make great finishing pieces for some of my Halloween smalls. I'm gonna paint them black. They had a ton of these. I don't know where they came from originally. Probably one of the craft stores. But for $1, I'm always looking for finishing things. I resisted the urge to buy any of the random wood crap that they have or any other frames. I really wanted some square frames, but they didn't have any. I couldn't find other things in the sizes they want. I got a book. All right, now we're going into the non-cross stitch haul portion of this video. So if you're not interested, skip ahead and I'll talk about plans in probably like 5 minutes. But I'm excited about my excellent thrifting today, and so y'all are probably the only ones who might care like a little bit. My partner was just like, oh yeah, that's a book and a frame and some cool dishes. Yeah, good job. Like, he loves me, but his idea of a good time isn't finding Pyrex at the thrift store. Fair enough, fair enough. He's wrong, but fair enough. I got a book. I've actually listened to this on audiobook. Michelle Cozy Egg recommended this a while ago, and I listened to an audiobook, and it's really good. And then I found, you know, I found a nice hardcover version of it for like $5, so I bought it. So this is The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. This is good. It's a vampire book. It's not super scary vampire-y. Like there's no obvious like vampire murdery stuff. It's really just kind of a story about a woman who finds out that vampires are real. I really liked it. I would listen to it. And I would say the audiobook is great. It is long. I'm not, but I just am excited to have a paper copy because sometimes my issue with audiobooks is I love them because I can listen to them in the car. I can do other things. They're great for like when I've got like a tedious task at like pressure washing my deck. It's great to have an audiobook. But you can't just easily flip to a section and like read something in an audiobook. You have to already know like where the timing is. Whereas I can flip it through a paper book. Anyway, you all know why books are different than audiobooks. But anyway, this is good. I also got some Pyrex and some Fire King. So I'm going to show you these because I'm excited about these. I got to the local-ish thrift store. This is Fire King. This was $2.99. Excellent shape. Beautiful. Super excited. I love this sort of stuff. And then I also got this one. So this isn't my go-to Pyrex. My go-to Pyrex are, I can't think of the pink and the turquoise one, basically. And then I do have some of the other colors because I inherited them from my grandma. But this is, I think, Early American. Is that what it's called? And this was it's in great shape, and it was $3.99. I had actually, so there are 4 thrift stores in the town where I live. There's a Goodwill. There is St. Vinny's. There's one called, I went to Super Thrift is where I got this, which used to be something else and they just changed it. And then there is, that just fell off well, I'll just pretend that didn't happen. And then there is the Albany Antique Mall, which is like huge. And it's one of those where there's like all the little booths of the different sellers. And they have so much Pyrex. They want so much money for it. But so I felt like $3.99 for this was a great deal. And I'll probably pull this out at Thanksgiving and then put it away for this year because it doesn't really go. But super excited about that. Yeah, so that was the most exciting thrift haul. Oh, I also got a milk glass vase because I'm a sucker for some milk glass. This is I think I got this at Goodwill for like $1.99. So anyway, the haul you didn't know you wanted. What Elizabeth got from the thrift store today. I was going to show you. Actually, I lied. I have some more photos of the stitches that I didn't buy. And hold on, let me do it this way. So there were all those leisure arts, and then there were a couple, there were actually 4 or 5 stitch pieces at my Goodwill, which never happens. They weren't my style necessarily, so I didn't buy any of them, but there was this one, which was really beautifully done. It's got that "Now I Laid Me Down to Sleep" quote on it. It was really cute. Colors are nice, framed beautifully. This one was also a like a good night sort of thing. This is like, it's about sleepy time bears. The date on it was 1986. And then there were 2 more smaller pieces. One was like a Precious Moments Grandpa and like something else. And then I went to, so those were at Goodwill. And then I went, and they were all beautifully framed, like really nice. Yeah, someone spent some time and money on those. And then I went to the fancy thrift store, or the antique store, and they had this, which is like a like older cross stitch framed. It almost looks like it maybe came, like it was on a bigger piece of fabric, like on a tablecloth or something, and then whoever the shop owner was put it in this frame. But I thought it was pretty. Then there was this Norman Rockwell piece. And then what I really wanted, which I didn't buy. Did I not take a picture of it? Oh, maybe I didn't take a picture of it. Oh, maybe I just put it on my Instagram stories. If I can get a picture, I'll put it here. This beautiful needlepoint. This has actually been at that thrift store for a while. I've seen this. I think this was there. That's been there for a while. I keep looking at it and thinking I want to buy it, and then I don't, but maybe I will eventually. I don't think it was unreasonably priced. It was like $45, which I don't think was crazy, honestly. And then there's always other needlepoint and stuff. I just didn't take any more photos. So anyway, good thrifty cross stitch day. And otherwise, I haven't been thrifting in a while, so it was really nice to go wander around and dig through the stuff and find some treasures. I don't usually have this much luck, I will say. But anyway, so okay, that's it with the haul. Let's talk about plans. It is August 25th. I still need to stitch my August Stitch for Pride piece. I will pop a picture in here. This is the Stitch for Pride 2024 sampler, motif sampler by D's 20 Stitches. I will also admit I can't recall who the August stitcher is, so hopefully I put it up here. That is how far behind I am on thinking about that. But I need to get that done. I think based on what I've seen of it on Instagram, it shouldn't take too long. It's not very big, this month's piece. So hopefully you'll see that next. In 2 weeks, I will have it done. I also haven't done any of my WIPGO so far this month. One of my WIPGO calls is a UFO. I'm done. I'm not stitching on it, so I'm just checking that off as being done. My board, my rules. And then the other one is this pattern. This is Vintage Ladies. This needs 3 days, and I was planning on starting it today because it's a Christmas themed piece. So I was planning on starting it on the 25th and working on it for the next 3 days. I could get very close to being done if I put some effort into it. So that's kind of exciting. So that's my plan for the rest of August, is basically to spend 3 days on Vintage Ladies and to spend a day or two finishing up the August sampler motif on the Stitch for Pride 2024 piece. I also have one more new start plan for August, as I mentioned earlier, and it is Needle in Hand by Hello from Liz Mathews. This was a retreat piece at Acorns and Threads, and it is exclusive to Acorns and Threads. So if you'd like it, that's where you can get it from. Hopefully I will get this started, and if not, it's not the end of the world, but that's the plan. If there's any more time this month after all of that, I'll probably try to keep up with Plants and Petrichor, and then I do have some FFOing, as you know, given that I bought that giant frame for the Dark Queen. That's what I want to work on next weekend, and hopefully get that FFO'd. I would really like to take her fully finished to Pinwhist for the brag table. I think I can get it done by then. Can I get it done by the end of the month? I don't know. We shall see. And on that note, I do need to make a small for Pinwhist if I decide not to use Halloween basket. But that's my backup plan. I do have some other small things that are finished that I could FFO if I can't get it together to start something new. I need to go double check what the rules are for the smalls exchange. But I don't think it will be a problem. All right. I feel like I spoke really fast because I thought this was going to take a lot longer than we're at 48-ish minutes. And yeah, I thought it was going to take longer, but it is what it is. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your month of August. If you celebrate Labor Day like we do in the US, next weekend is a holiday weekend. I hope you've got something fun planned. I will be FFOing all the things, which is fun. Otherwise, I will see you all soon. Happy stitching, folks. Bye.